What's up, everybody? Nick Wright here down in the home gym right now. Ari's finishing up her workout. I'm actually not working out today. I wanted to actually take a minute to make a video about how I broke my bench press plateau, because plateaus are something that happens to everybody at some point. Bench pressing is one of the most common exercises I feel like people hit a plateau in. One, because it's so finicky and responsive to your actual body weight. So if you lose weight or you stop gaining weight, that alone can actually have a negative effect on your bench press. But if you guys recall, about a month and a half ago, almost 2 months ago, I was hitting a pretty nasty plateau. I failed a 365 bench press. In fact, I failed a 355 pound bench press PR attempt. And on top of that, weight that I can usually do for very easy 2 or 3 reps, I was barely able to get for hard singles, like 335 pounds. And I remember making a video called Those Pesky Plateaus.
Come on, Nick. There you go.
So I was a little discouraged because I only got 1 out of that, and I've been able to get 1 out of this weight for like a year now. I was supposed to get 4 or 5 out of this. Since then, I've done a number of things to break past that plateau, and I must say it's been successful, as I've hit a 355 tap and go PR.
Push, push, push!
365 tap and go PR. And a 340 pause bench PR. All within these last 3 weeks after tackling this plateau. So I want to give a special and slightly awkward thank you to both Johnny Candido and Simon of Masthetics. Both of them helped me out. Candido, of course, redid my programming for the bench pressing with my reps, sets, and all that. And then Simon actually gave me a few ideas to help me break past that plateau in the form of working on weak areas, weak point training. So I'll show you guys exactly what I did in this video here. Please like the video for peace and prosperity, comment below, and subscribe now. So one of the first things that I changed overall was my actual reps and set scheme. See, Johnny Candido's programming had a lot of lighter weight, higher rep stuff. And for me, that never worked because I never was able to transition into the heavier weight properly at all. I think because the bench press is naturally a weaker lift for me, I need to maintain at least that 80% of my training max range at all times. Lower reps are definitely better for me, just for the bench press. So Johnny rescheduled my entire program, and as you saw, if you followed the videos throughout the cycle, I rarely went over 5 reps ever. I would do some crazy sets, like 10 sets of 3 reps, as you see. So I changed the reps and sets around. I also changed all of my pressing to paused reps, which helps tremendously. It helps really build that strength and control at the very bottom of the lift. Although, upon talking to some of the lifters, I was advised to mix it up. Some tap and go, some pause before and after, because pause reps can be very hard on the body, but they helped. So floor presses are a huge benefit in your training program, and I honestly think they're what helped me finish that 365 pound bench, because if you look at all my attempts for 365, they always fail halfway up the rep. And even the attempt that I did finish, it became a grinder starting halfway up the rep. That halfway point is a huge sticking point for most lifters. That's when the arms begin to elongate and you start losing that tight compactness and the weight gets heavier. So to really train that sticking point, you want to train your lockout point, you do floor presses. The elbows stop, leaving the bar about halfway up the rep already, and you can just train from there. Now, I do 2 sets, 5 reps each, with 85% of my floor press max every single workout. And here you actually see my form is wrong. My knees are bent. Legs should not be bent. Here's an example of a good clean form. That first clip was like the first time I'd ever tried these, and this clip is the most recent time. The third thing, shoulder pressing. I really upped my overhead pressing, and I incorporated 2 sets of standing overhead press using, again, 80% of my 1 rep max on shoulder pressing. And I'll alternate these, but this really helps to get your overall shoulder strength up because shoulder strength will really correlate into your bench press. And if you have a weak overhead press, it could be a sign of weak shoulders, and those weak shoulders can really hold you back on your overall bench. So standing overhead presses really help me increase my bench. I alternate between this and close grip bench pressing, so each one once a week. Last but not least, guys, close grip bench pressing. Again, I alternate, so on days that I'm not overhead pressing, I'm doing close grip pressing. 2 sets, 6 reps. Sometimes I'll add in a 3rd set as well. Focusing on your triceps is so crucial to building a big bench press, guys. So many people overlook it and neglect tricep training, but it's really what built my strength in the bench press in the first place, incorporating close grip bench pressing, and it's definitely what helped me break past this overall strength plateau this time around. Now, this final method here is optional. It's the slingshot. It's optional because not everybody has one. Not everybody's going to go and spend money on one. If you do want one, they're awesome. You can get them at howmuchyabench.net. And I've been using it for the last 4 weeks. In fact, I do think it helped out a lot with that 365 push because I was able to use 365 for a few reps with it before I actually went to attempt it. And the whole purpose of it, the whole function, is to basically acclimate you into handling heavier weights you can't normally handle. It's that overload, kind of like getting assisted reps from a spotter. And I definitely think it helps out a lot. I have a recent video on how to actually use this, but to sum it up for you pretty quickly, after you do all of your normal raw bench pressing, you would then go to your slingshot and do some burnout sets after the fact. So say you do 3 sets of 3 heavy bench and raw. You could do 3 sets of 3 with like your 1 rep raw max using the slingshot. So there's a bunch of different ways to do it. Basically, you incorporate some burnout overload sets with it after your raw benching is all over with. I love it.